Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night, wherever you are around the world. I did have to think for myself then what day we was on. But hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is all good. Welcome back to a latest news episode for you guys this evening. It's been a while, actually, I think, since we've done a Liverpool latest news episode. Anyway, of course, it's just been bombarded by games. Of course, because Liverpool have basically played every single game, every single 3-4 days as of late. But again, we're here mainly, of course, to talk about the man you can see on screen right now, of course, in terms of Ryan Xherdan. Again, apologies for any pronunciation mishaps, of course, but we are here to discuss Ryan Xherdan because, again, he's been linked with a move to Liverpool, which again has caused a little bit of conversation, I would say, in terms of, again, where he would potentially fit if he was to have a move to Liverpool. And I think a lot of people, again, have had their say on social media in terms of, again, would it be a good signing or not for Liverpool? I think for me, straight off the bat, it's a bit of a confusing link, considering, again, other positions need addressing within the squad. But, in typical Liverpool fashion, we end up signing another attacker or another attacking-minded player in that aspect as well. But again, let me know how all of you are in the chat as well. If you are new around here, of course, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course, all that good stuff as well. And of course, we do have a poll as well in the chat. I believe, again, it is in the chat. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts, and of course, I will know the results in the bottom as well when I find out. Anyway, but I do think it is an interesting link, of course, because again, I think overall, when you do look at it and you look at the way Liverpool are at the minute, do we need that type of profile? Probably not. But again, we'll get a bit into it in a moment. But big up Damos Hill saying the Cherki for Christmas headline writes itself. Probably. Very much. Again, you've probably given every single journo now, Damo, a positive piece to write if Liverpool do end up doing, of course, the move anyway. But look, to kick straight on into it then, chat, of course, again, if you're watching as well, then let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But of course, this report came out earlier on today, again this morning, from Santi, again, a known reliable journalist in France. Of course, this is translated because, of course, we cannot read that, but it does go on to say, it says, like last summer, Ryan Cherki could experience a very hectic winter transfer window. PSG and Liverpool are already working behind the scenes, of course, and there is an article piece that does go on to read more into it. Now, of course, the first, I think, instance, in this scenario, of course, is do Liverpool need him? No, I think that's the number one, aside to it, of course, because again, Liverpool have already got a very stacked attacking options. Again, on the left, you've got, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, on the right, you've got Federico Chiesa, you've got Mohamed Salah. Even if Liverpool are going to be playing that 10 position, we've already got Harvey Elliott, you've already got Dom Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones can play in that position as well. So if Liverpool was to make the possibility of signing Ryan Cherki a reality, why would we be doing it? And I think the only reason why Liverpool would ever be considering a move like this now is just purely based on opportunity and that whole settlement in terms of, again, Liverpool go for optimistic signings in that sense of, again, you look at the current state of LYON as well, who have to sell players now, unless, they could. I think it's pretty much guaranteed, again, considering the amount of players they do have to potentially sell. And of course, they could be relegated down to the second tier of French football. Now, what are they realistically going to be asking for? You probably look at it and go, well, they could possibly vary their valuation between 20 to 30 million euros, if potentially, of course, his contract wasn't a factor. Of course, he is in his final year of his contract. So again, with that being said, how much are they realistically looking for? Are they looking around that 10-15 million euro mark? Because that is what's been reported as of today. That again, the fee that Lyon want is around 25 million euros. Again, what French reporters are suggesting that Lyon might have to even accept a bid as low as 10 million euros, which I think works out around £8.5 million, which again, for the talent that Ryan Cherki is, again, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, look, I've watched him week in, week out, because that would be lying to you guys, and it would be. And I think everyone else can probably say, unless, of course, you are a known fanatic towards French football, which, again, at times you can be. Even last night, for example, of course, Monaco and PSG played. But overall, I don't think anyone's in the conversation of, oh, we watch French football week in, week out. But again, when we're talking about wonder kids and when we're talking about young talent that again, you can take from teams and could potentially become superstars, again, Ryan Cherki's name has been a part of that for many, many years. But when you hear different people's opinion on him, again, the attitude problems and the work rate problems, traditionally he's not a Liverpool player in that sense. Again, certainly with the squad that we've got and the way we currently play as well, which we do play a high tempo, counter-attacking side side of things, he is more of that that Neymar-esque player who, again, is a lot of he's a flair player. Then you could turn around and say that again, he is one of them players who again is built on ability and flair, and again, for Liverpool, I don't think that would be the player that we need. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway, because I'm intrigued to know your guys' thoughts on, of course, Ryan Cherki as well. But Damon said could be Richard Hughes getting all opportunistic. Yeah, absolutely could be. And I think that's where a majority of it is. I think I would be surprised if Liverpool wasn't in the conversation for it. But I think also one thing to be cautious with it as well is the fact that PSG's name is also attached with that article piece. If I quickly bring it up, or again, the report from from, let me, buddy, I can't think of his name, Santi, sorry. Again, that type of report that, again, has already been reported by many French journalists. Again, I think at the end of November it was brought out. But again, as you can see over there, PSG and Liverpool are already working behind the scenes. Is it maybe the case of, again, Liverpool's name being used a little bit in this scenario in terms of, again, Liverpool's name being brought of it? So maybe PSG act upon it. Because, again, looking back at, into the summer, there was a lot of reports from PSG that they were going to go in for him. Again, I think they bid around 50 million euros at the time in the summer. And again, a deal was never materialized off of that. And again, there was other teams as well in Europe, supposedly, where Cherki was going to go. I think there was a few teams in the Premier League as well that wasn't Liverpool in that aspect that was going to potentially go out and get him. But then again, I think Lyon then rejected any offers and was asking around 40-50 million euros, which again, they're not going to get in that sense. But quite clearly, they have to sell. There's no two ways around it. They can't turn around and go, oh, we're going to try and work out a contract situation. Financially, they are in trouble, which again, it looks likely. I think even with the sale of Cherki, they wouldn't be in the green then. I think they'd have to find I think around 20-30 million euros on top of that, even if they was to sell him for I think around 25 million euros. So again, they've got to generate around 50-60 million pounds or euros in that sense to even get up to the possibility of not getting relegated. So I think even if you look at that Lyon squad, who could they potentially sell for the big money? I look at it and I go, you don't really look at it and go, yeah, that player's going to get you 30-40 million pounds. Like, I'm taking a look at their squad now. Like, they've got Wilfried Zaha, but I think Wilfried Zaha's on loan. Again, but even still, the loan fee on that, you probably expect them to pay unless, of course, they file for bankruptcy. But there is a few names in there. Of course, obviously Lacazette's in there. Berahimo as well is also in there. Just looking at the attack. I think, is it Malik Fofana? I think he's also being considered as a wonder kid or that Football Manager wonder kid, which again, looking at him now, 19 years of age, 3 goals, 2 assists so far in the French league as well. But of course, Nemanja Matic there as well. So again, they've got recognizable players there, but in terms of sellable assets, again, there's only 1 or 2 that you look on that list that could potentially get over 10 million euros. When you do look at it. So I think it'll be hard times for him, but I think also a positive thing for, of course, Cherki, potentially for wherever he does go, is injury records. I think you look at overall in terms of his overall injury record, it's pretty decent, considering, again, I think last season he didn't play that many games, but taking a look on, as I get that up, there we go, on, of course, SofaScore. So for his goal man on transfer market, again, he's only had the 2 injuries. Of course, the one big injury back in the 21-22 season, of course, when he again injured himself, missed 19 games for both France and Lyon. Again, apologies for any adverts on the side, and then missed, of course, a muscle injury back last season. Again, only missed 1 day, which was 1 game for Lyon as well. So pretty decent records in that sense, of course. Which again, I think obviously teams looking obviously the Premier League would definitely be looking at that type of situation. But taking a look at his actual records, even for Lyon, considering again he's been estimated around. You look at again the rumors that's been sparking around when you're talking around 30, 40, 50 million euros. You actually look at his league campaigns, in every single season. I'm looking now, his best return in a single season was back in 22-23. Again, apologies, we are lagging. I don't know why that's lagging a little bit. But yeah, his best return was back in 22-23 when he got 4 goals, 7 assists, which I think the majority of them, come in the French league, none in Europe at all. Again, but taking it over, the past couple of seasons, so far this season, 13 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, which isn't great in that aspect of things. Last season, 2 goals, 3 assists. Of course, the 22-23 season, like I just mentioned, 4 goals, 7 assists. And again, the 21-22 season, 0 goals, 1 assist for Lyon. And again, same in 2020 and also 19-20 as well. 1 goal, 1 assist in that campaign as well. So again, statistic wise, in terms of attacking ability, again, not the great, not the best in that aspect of things. But I think just everyone, I think certainly on social media, has said, again, he's a lot more than goals and assists in terms of, again, his flair, in terms of, again, the player that he can be. Of course, looking at him and capability wise, again, he can play everywhere, on the front foot. Again, he can play, let's say, just saying, but I know he can play centre mid, he can play attacking midfielder, he can play right wing, left wing. Again, actually, to be fair, I've just read the wrong stat. That's my bad. Apologies. I'm looking at 2 players, but yeah, so apologies. I'm going to read that back out. So this season, he's got 5 goals, 7 assists. I've just read that young French winger starts out. There we go. I was wondering why that was coming up. So apologies. So in this season so far, he's got 5 goals, 7 assists for Lyon. Last season, he got 3 goals, 9 assists. In 22-23, he got 5 goals, 6 assists. But then again, quite similar to what I just read out, 2 goals, 2 assists in 21-22, 2020, 2021, 4 goals, 3 assists, and only 3 goals in the 19-20 season, which again, the last 2 seasons in particular, again, he's been a lot more involved, which again, when we talk about maturity and of course his statistics in that sense, but again, this season hasn't really, hit his mark in terms of the French league. But again, the Champions League, not Champions League, sorry, the Europa League, just looking now, again, he got 2 goals and 1 assist against Frankfurt the last week, actually, it was as well. So again, he could be a very, very good player. And I do think, given the right type of coaching and under the right system, he could be absolutely a brilliant player as well. Anyway, but big up Mark, hope you're doing well. It all depends on who goes, but he's a great squad player. I think he would be a good squad player. I think if Liverpool definitely didn't get Federico Chiesa in, I do think Liverpool would go for him, and I don't think anybody else would have what's the right word? Would have not a grudge, but not have a problem then, let's say, with him signing for Liverpool. But I just look at it and go, who do you take out, within the squad? Again, if you're trying to play against a low block team, do Liverpool see him as being maybe an 8-10 in a system, maybe on a slot as requested? The Liverpool look into him. But again, there's no past. I think even when you look at Arne Slot, Vinord, again, a team maybe that might, potentially look for him on loan. Again, there was no suggestion of that as well. But of course, Lyon are a very difficult team to deal with. Of course, we know that firsthand. Of course, with Nabil Fekir, and I think everyone will, of course, talk about that. But a lot to do with the squad around as players too, as well. Yeah, 100%. But I hope you guys are well and have a good Christmas and New Year. Well, hopefully you have a good Christmas and New Year as well, Mark. Anyway, but I was thinking about it the other day. So, of course, Liverpool play on Boxing Day. I think what we're going to do probably, I was talking about this the other day, we're probably going to do not post-match, sorry. We're going to do match preview, I think, on because that's Christmas Eve. So, yeah, no, we're going to do that on Christmas Eve because, of course, Liverpool play on Boxing Day. Christmas Day, we might do a Christmas special for you guys. Maybe we might do quiz, something like that. Because, like I said, I know a lot of people, again, Christmas is Christmas, and again, it wouldn't be until later on the day. But I think plenty of people would like a show or something like that. And again, some people don't have many people around at Christmas. Again, if anybody is interested in that, then to let me know. But yeah, we might do something around then. And of course, New Year's we might do something as well anyway. But of course, the football content will stay the same, but it'll just be the match preview won't be on Christmas. It'll be on Boxing Day. It will be on Christmas Eve instead of that anyway. So again, working around the Christmas schedule will be fun. Anyway, but some transfer news. Who is he likely to replace or back up? Well, first of all, hello, Euro. And second of all, I think if he was to come in, which I think it would be interesting. Again, like, I wonder whether or not if Liverpool might move Dom Szoboszlai a bit further back, and play him in that pivot role alongside Gravenberch, for example. That's the only way I can see that working, or whether or not they just want another player in there because it's too good to turn down. Maybe I think you look at the the rumor there is that he could be available for less than £10 million, like that. Again, it's a great signing. Chiesa in the summer, we said at the time that was an amazing signing because again we got a player that we got a Champions League quality player in Federico Chiesa, who again a couple of years ago was going for €100 million. And we got him for 10 million, that or less than 10 million. That was, again, an excellent piece of business. But Ryan Cherki, I think, would be a similar type of player. He is a similar type of, profile in that sense. If Liverpool need to break down a low block, is he that type of player that would do that? Yes, I think he would do. Is he something that Liverpool needs? No. I think Liverpool need a number 6 as a backup for Ryan Gravenberch, even though I do think Wataru Endo, again, the past game, had a phenomenal game. I think for a more Arne Slot type defender, midfielder, I think that's what you'd want. But then again, can Liverpool make this transfer happen? And would it make sense long term? I'd probably say no, unless Liverpool are just looking to cash in now and then can easily sell him for 15, 20 million going into the future. That's possibly what we're going to maybe look at. But I think he will go PSG. That's just me saying it now. I do think it's a little bit tactics-wise in terms of, again, his name's out there and, I'll go Liverpool are going for him. But again, there's now been multiple reliable people now coming out with the same type of information. over a period of time, which again would suggest that there is some truth into it. And again, it screams a Liverpool transfer. It does. It very much does. Whether or not it'll happen, that's another thing. But I do think Liverpool need a left back. I do think Liverpool need a defensive midfielder more than what we need another attacker. But I also say this, in the 22-23 season, when we had no midfield, we went and signed Cody Gakpo in that same season. So again, look, who knows what could happen for Liverpool in that sense. But big up Rods as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. As well, thank you, Mark, for putting it in the chat as well. Rods' link, go and subscribe over to Rods as well. Mark says, how are you doing, Rods, as well? And Mark also saying 10 mil is a steal for nearly anyone, though. Yeah, no, it is 100%, and it's certainly a wonder kid in Cherki, which he does feel like his name has been around for a very long time. It doesn't feel like some random player out of anyone that Liverpool or some data department as dragged out of anywhere, in terms of, again, just a random name in that sense. I don't think that is the case. But again, look, if we didn't sign Federico Chiesa, I think this would make perfect sense. But because we have Chiesa as backup for Mo Salah and pretty much cover for the front three, does it make a lot of sense to have a player like this in? I'm not so sure, but again, other people might disagree with that as well. So if you do, let me know your guys' thoughts. I hate that we are starting to broadcast who we want. We never dealt like that before. No, that is true. I think though it's a different time though now. I don't think now you can get away with like a Fabinho signing, and I don't. It's very rare that will happen. I think the Chiesa one was really good in the summer. Like I said earlier, I think again the transfer itself was really good, but I think the overall surprise of it, where like again, I think even David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano just tweeted like, "Oh, Liverpool are talking to Juventus," but again, there hasn't been a deal for a while where you look at it and go, "Wow," and you think, Liverpool being linked, and then automatically then it's like, oh, Liverpool are gonna, go on and Liverpool are in talks, and then about an hour later, Liverpool have signed him, and we won't get that anymore, and it is a shame because again, reporters obviously now on certain social media platforms, of course, they get views and that and money off interactions, but again, I think we were having this conversation the other day. Transfers do get spoiled quite a lot now. Because you'd always be, I remember being a kid and watching Sky Sports News every single day coming home from school in the transfer window and literally listening to them saying, who's going to sign for who, and, even transfer deadline day, that type of reporting where people would be glued to the screen to know who's going where, and you'll never get moments like Özil on transfer deadline day, or Peter Alden-Wingy going to West Brom, or or that type of situation ever again, and it's sad. It is sad, but again, that's the way the world and the way of media is going. Anyway, but I feel agents leak it to drive the prices up 100%, 110% with that. Anyway, but look, it's very, very interesting, isn't it? But Damon says, given Konza hasn't hit the heights of last season, would you consider a left back who can fill in at centre back or go out for the best left back out there? For me, I go all out for a left back. I think we need it. For me, I think Robbo, again, he's been a tremendous servant towards Liverpool Football Club, and again, I would keep Robbo. Maybe, and again, this is a split opinion, because at the moment, I think Costas, every opportunity he's been given this season, he's been really good. With the expectation of him coming in. But if you were to, plan the squad out and go, right, who should we looking to get rid of? Again, maybe you do keep Costas as backup, but then is Costas going to be happy with knowing that someone, Liverpool are going to buy someone to be coming straight into the door? And I said it the other day that the top three candidates for me for that left back spot at the present moment in time is Alphonso Davies, Milos Kerkez, and Robinson from Fulham. That is for me the top three that Liverpool should go for. Kerkez is the number one I think Liverpool should go for at the minute. But then are Liverpool willing to pay 35, 40 million pounds for a left back? I think that's the biggest question around it, because I think now, certainly if Liverpool are coming knocking, you're not going to sell your left back for 8 million quid. Now, Liverpool won't get an Andy Robinson type deal. But I'm very intrigued to see what the club will do in January. Of course, there'll be a lot more rumours and conversations around now, because, of course, Liverpool are, what are we at? We're pretty much, 2 weeks away from the transfer window being open. Of course, the big headlines will be, of course, still with Trent, Van Dijk and Salah's contracts. I think that's the most important thing at the minute. But I also don't want Liverpool to stand still. If Chelsea are making signings, if Manchester City are making signings, if Arsenal are making signings and addressing their problems, which again, they desperately need attackers. I think they need a left winger. I think even they need a striker that can score goals. I look at that. If they end up doing that, again, they will come stronger the second half of the season. Liverpool have to be better than that. Again, we clearly can identify things, and you look at it, where Liverpool need to slightly improve. And if we can do that now instead of the summer, that would be a massive bonus, And if we have got to pay an extra 5 million, 10 million on top, again, do it now, because we have an opportunity this season to win everything. To win a Premier League, to win a Champions League. It is in the realms of possibilities this season for Liverpool under a new manager in Arne Slot, who, again, I think that the game against Southampton, big indication of what his intentions are this season. He wants to win the Premier League. He wants to win the Champions League. It's quite clear. And I think if you give him what he wants, and give him the tools of what he wants, again, we go on to do that. And I think hopefully now, of course, like I said this in the summer, with the people we've got back at the football club, with, of course, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, this partnership that supposedly we've got, hopefully it is a good sign of when we know we need change, we do it, and we don't act, a season or two late. Again, supposedly Michael Edwards wasn't all for Liverpool keeping Jordan Henderson around, because again, the data department was suggesting that, they go on to, again, move on and look forward from it. Again, you hope that's something similar again, where even the left back spot, you look at, Liverpool probably need an upgrade in that position at the moment. Hopefully we don't, allow the opportunity of going on to potentially turn around and go, oh yeah, we'll do that in the summer, and then look, Kirkes could go to Man City, for example, and then that's an opportunity missed out. And again, I don't want that. Personally, I don't want that, and I don't think any of you guys want that either. But I think overall, to go back on Damon's comment, what this has been talked about, I think with Konza, I think he will leave Liverpool next season on loan. I think he's massively lacking confidence at the minute, and I think for me, he needs a move. He needs a proper move to a championship team or a lower end Premier League team, get a full season under his belt as the number one or number two centre back somewhere, and again come back a better player, similar like Harvey Elliott done, similar to where other players have done it as well for other teams, and then come back even better with that anyway. But Damon says, I think Anthony Robertson is 27. He turns 28 at the end of the season, so that might go against him as an option at left back, possibly. I think that is a possibility, probably. But I think Kirkes is the number one. I think that's been pretty obvious. But again, I think also to say with Alphonso Davies, he's not signing a new contract at Bayern. I think he'll go Real Madrid, me personally. But who knows if he doesn't go Madrid? Why not? Liverpool put their names in the hat anyway. But hello, Rick, as well for the ice emoji. I know Ricky's fuming with the title and so on as well. But Gina says there are a lot of fake rumors by agents. 100% there are. 100%, and there will be even throughout January. There will be. Look, the amount of people that Liverpool have been linked with over the years, I can't remember what mad one it was recently in the summer, but there was a mad few. And sure, there will be even in January, and even, excuse me, even in with the Mo Salah and Van Dijk and Trent's contract, there are going to be rumours flying around until they sign or it's confirmed they leave. There'll be mad rumours going around. But does Slot favour versatile player like Klopp did? I probably would say yes. Chiesa I think is a shout for that. Could play on the right, could play on the left. I think Slot. I think in January, and I do think in the summer as well. Now, because again, the transfer team will have a year, or they've had a year to build on what Arne Slot wants. I think it will be interesting to see the direction of where we go with transfers, because I think, we probably look at a certain player and go, that player's Jurgen Klopp player, that's Liverpool Jurgen Klopp, when we see a certain player. But again, that doesn't transition into an Arne Slot player. He may look at somebody and go, yeah, I want this person, but then turn around and go, oh, no, in the past you may have wanted that player, but I don't want him. I think we should go in this direction. And I am very intrigued to see what we do over the next 6 to 12 months in terms of, again, the signings and, just the overall decisions that we do make as well anyway. But look, I do think it is a very interesting topic anyway. But Hero says, will be good to see your stream over Christmas. Just another day for me, fasting until the evening and then eating like mad for an hour or so as well. Yeah, well, no, look, absolutely 100%. I know that, of course, there are many people, again, that don't celebrate Christmas, and of course, obviously, for many reasons. But look, I just think it's always good to have a holiday stream. And look, I know many people last year I think enjoyed it. I think when we did one, and I think the year before as well. So look, we'll try and get a couple of people on, and again have a fun day with it. Anyway, it won't be a long stream, like I'm not talking hours and upon hours. It'll be about an hour show anyway. So like pretty much a normal episode. Tsimikas isn't good either. Keep Robbo as backup, sell Tsimikas, and get a decent left back, says Gerson as well. Again, I know plenty of people have the same opinion, and I probably would agree with it. I think Robbo should be kept on because, again, whoever we do sign, Robbo will be a great player to have there to, again, guide that player to what they want to be. Because, again, Liverpool are going to sign a young left back. We're not going to be signing a 30-year-old to replace another 30-odd-year-old. That's not what Liverpool are going to be doing now. I do think it is very much the case of Liverpool have gone past signing players, like a Thiago, for example, or, players that are over a certain period. Like, I think Liverpool are looking in the ages between 20 and 25 again, and looking in between these ages and going, who are the players that are probably the next best or, can be the next best. I think all the rumours at the minute are going around with certain individual players. I think Hato from Ajax, I think, has been linked again today. Obviously, Cherki, 21-year-old. Kirkes, 22, 23-year-old. Again, it's these types of players that Liverpool are going to go for from now until, when on a slot, or again, this data team does leave, which hopefully will be never, fingers crossed. But Big Up John says, hi Con, what is your priority signing for us? I think DM, what is your opinion? I would agree in some sense. I think, again, a backup 6 or the Arne Slot 6, I think is the priority. I also think left back. I do really think left back is a main problem for Liverpool and can be improved on as well. But in also saying that, I also think, if Trent doesn't sign the new deal, Liverpool are going to need to sign a right back. I think for me, we're talking about Cherki right now. I'm going to quickly check his name before I do say his name, because I really want Liverpool to sign the Monaco right back if Trent does leave. Let me double check of his name. Vanderson, I think is Vanderson is his name. So again, he can play. He is a right back, or can be known as a right back. Again, can play left back as well if needed. But for me, that's who Liverpool should look to go and sign if Trent leaves. But at the present moment in time, I want Trent to stay. And hopefully he does stay anyway. But Van der Nielsen is the guy, or Vanderson, I think his name is. He's the guy that I want. Again, he's 23 years of age. I think he can be a really good player for Liverpool if we do need to go and sign a right back. But again, you've also got Conor Bradley there. Of course, that again, Conor Bradley's given more of an opportunity. Who knows what he could do. Anyway, but I think obviously, back onto the Cherki stuff. I do think, as of right now, I would say no. I don't think the transfer will happen. But again, we could be pleasantly surprised come, again, the January transfer window, 1st of January, boom, Liverpool signed Ryan Cherki. Would be very interesting. 100% would be. We need an understudy for Virgil. Yes, I would agree. I think that might be Hato, I think from Ajax. I think that could be a possibility. Again, get Virgil signed though, innit? I think that's the main thing. And also, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a contract update in the next couple of days or weeks. Anyway, certainly with Virgil van Dijk. I'm just waiting for him, picturing him alongside a Christmas tree saying, contract signed, done and dusted, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but Liverpool should press for Zubimendi in January before City and Arsenal could scrub at that deal. Yeah, 100%. I would agree on that 100%. I think quite clearly Zubimendi is slot 6, and again, that's not a disrespect towards Ryan Gravenberch whatsoever, because he has been phenomenal for Liverpool this season. And I wouldn't want that to change, because again, the amazing job he's done. But I think if you brought in a Zubimendi, that would scream volumes of Liverpool have multiple ways of beating you. Because again, that Fulham game, and that isn't necessarily going on to Zubimendi, but you look at Ryan Gravenberch, what an amazing game that was from him, watching it back. And even the game itself, Liverpool looked like beating, we could beat Fulham in that game. And again, like I said it on the post-match of the Fulham game, there is no other team at the top of the Premier League at the minute that I think could have done that, and look like to beat that Fulham team. Because again, Fulham are a decent team. Again, they've had very good results so far this season. They've taken points off Arsenal. I think if they take points off City as well, but again, Liverpool looked like winning that game, and maybe if certain things had happened, Liverpool would have gone on to win that game. But look, I think if Liverpool make any signings in January, it will scream volumes that Liverpool are not messing around. But again, they may look at it and go, if teams are not upgrading their teams, then Liverpool might not do it. But if Arsenal start signing players, and if Chelsea sign more players, Liverpool have to do the same. And I think that's where everybody is will be annoyed at. Come the end of the window and Liverpool have not really done anything. If I'm sat here on January 30th or 31st, wherever, and there's been no signings, no word of a contract being signed neither. Of course, all three of them at that time, of course, can talk and sign a pre-agreed contract with whoever through Europe. That would be devastating. The fact that Liverpool have not done anything, not signed anyone to a new deal, and we're pretty much going into February 1st, pretty much no signings, none of the big three signing new contracts. That would be devastating. And it would. 100% it would be. And I think, as Darryl says there, says Trent's gone, in my opinion. I think a lot of people have that opinion. I really do. I think, Trent's that interview that came out even today, and Trent's words saying that trophies are only one part of a legacy, and his words of, oh, I want to go out and win the Ballon d'Or. Can you do that at Liverpool? Possibly not. But then again, you screen questions and go, it's Real Madrid. Again, it's Real Madrid. It's the greatest club in the world if you want, but I still think Trent has unfinished business at Liverpool. I still think he has many more achievements to do. Again, he wants to be club captain. I think he has a lot more of a, and what he might think as well. And again, this is not me knowing anything or anything like that, but I think in his mind, he might think, well, this might be my one opportunity to go to Real Madrid. I'll always have the opportunity to come back to Liverpool because, again, Scouser, again, the history, the Trent's created at the football club. I've got a chance to go to Real Madrid and then come back to Liverpool, but I've not got the chance to stay at Liverpool and then maybe even one day go to Real Madrid, because Real Madrid at the moment are in this phase of, and again, don't know why, but they're under this phase now, like, oh, we're not going to go out and spend £150 million on a player. We're not going to go and spend ridiculous amount of money in the transfer window. We'll wait a year or two for you, and you can come to us on a free transfer. They did it with Mbappe. They're going to do it with probably Alphonso Davies. They're looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free transfer. That is what Real Madrid are doing at the moment. They're just allowing players to run their contracts down. There's been even talks of Saliba. I think Saliba's deal ends in 2 years. There's reports saying that Real Madrid will wait for William Saliba for his deal to be done, and then they're going to go after him. That's what Real Madrid are currently doing. They're not signing anyone for a big amount of fee because they've done that in the past. They've done it with Eden Hazard. I think they did it with Luka Jovic over the last couple of years, and they haven't worked out. If they sign players for free, look at Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger left Chelsea on a free transfer to go to Real Madrid. Right, that should never have happened. Even on the Chelsea side of things, which look, I think that's its own conversation in itself. But Chelsea will invest for sure. They will buy big and sell big as well. Absolutely, 100%. Trent is not a good defender. Real can have him. Trent's a decent defender. Daryl, have some faith. No, I know what people mean, but I look, out of the three, I'm more worried about Trent leaving. Out of the three of them, I am worried that Trent will leave. I think Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, I think it's a matter of when they sign their deals, or even if they've already done that, it's a matter of when they announce it. But I think Liverpool and Trent, I don't know. There's just something there, isn't it? Where it's the Jude Bellingham situation again. Jude Bellingham's definitely been in Trent's year for a good year and a bit, about, of course, going on to sign for Real Madrid. But hopefully we're all wrong. Big signing for Liverpool if we can get Cherki as well, would be. But I personally don't think it will happen myself. But smash the like and subscribe. Yeah, if you could, again, please hit the subscribe button as well, because we are on the road to 2K. Hopefully we do get it by the end of the season, fingers crossed. Anyway, I think even on this video, I think we've got 2 subscribers, so thank you very much. If you're new, of course, hit the like button. But hey Jack, how are you doing, says Mark. Let me quickly go back up because I missed John's comment. Hang on, thoughts on Unified League, another stupid idea. Yeah, stupid. Super League, is another stupid thing. Big Panner as well, saying if Trent does go, or if Trent goes, then Bradley will more than step up. Yeah, I think that will be the case. I think there's been another report as well, I think from Germany, suggesting that Jeremy Frimpong could be in the works for Liverpool. If that was the case, then sound. But I don't think he's a type of right back we need at the minute. I think personally, I think if any team in the Premier League that's going to go after him, Man United potentially. I think the way they play, with a right wing back, I think he'd suit that formation perfectly under Ruben Amorim, of course. But look, that's just my opinion. Honestly, at this point, I'm not even at all that concerned about Trent going. Just a bit sad about it. Yeah, 100%. And look, I think many people share the same thought process as well. 100%. Anyway, but I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you for everyone for tuning in to, of course, this, of course, Liverpool news episode for you guys. Of course, we've spoken about Ryan Cherki, of course, obviously the rumours suggesting Liverpool working behind the scenes to get a deal done. Look, in my opinion, I do think Liverpool would go for an opportunity, an optimistic signing like Cherki. Again, if the rumours are true that 10 million euros could be the deal or could be the fee to get the deal done. Again, I think Liverpool would be all over that 100%. But I think overall, I think the big question of, again, where do Liverpool, fit him in? I think that is a big problem, because at the moment, in terms of the attacking positions, again, we're pretty stacked. On the right hand side, you've got Federico Chiesa, you've got Mo Salah. On the left, you've got Luis Diaz, you've got Cody Gakpo. Up front as well, Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota. In the 10, you've got Harvey Elliott, you've got Dom Szoboszlai, you've got Curtis Jones that could play that position as well. So I think there is pretty much an interesting question of if Liverpool does go with Ryan Cherki, does that potentially mean that somebody's going to be going? Who knows? But for me, I think, look, Liverpool, it'll be a decent signing. I think if he was to do it, but look, I don't think he's going to be coming to Liverpool. I think if anything, I think he'll go to PSG in January. But look, again, we'll just have to wait and see, of course, anyway. But let me get it back into your comments anyway before we do shoot off as well. Again, obviously, Man United and Spurs are playing at the minute in a moment. So, again, I think everybody's going to be watching that in a minute anyway. But cheers, Colin, as well, says Damo. Thanks, everyone. Jack saying, I hope you're all well, chat, as well. Jackie, okay, all good, thank you, Mark. Hope you're well. I'd like to transfer in some freaking sunshine. Let's get this contract signed as well. Absolutely, hero as well. But yeah, I'm good, thanks. And can we hit 30 likes as well? Yeah, actually, to be fair, before we do shoot off, I will quickly look in that poll. I completely forgot about the poll. I'm not gonna lie. So hang on a minute. Let me have a look at the poll. So 26 people, again, 65% says yes that Ryan Cherki will sign for Liverpool in the January transfer window. So you guys do think he'll sign for Liverpool? Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. But again, let me know. Again, your guys' thoughts in the comments. Of course, there will be people who will watch this on the repeat as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts because I'm very intrigued, again, to know what you guys think as well. But I do think, though, as well, I think genuinely there will be more links that does come out over the next couple of weeks, of course. And if there is any news that does come out, of course, we'll be live for it as well. But again, also as well, I will say this, though, as well. If you do like these videos a bit earlier from 9 p.m, again, we might move permanently to 8 p.m. If you guys like them a bit earlier as well. So again, please do let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments because I'd be very intrigued, of course, to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, but until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me. I have been Connor from the COP Council. I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode, hopefully. And hopefully, randomly one day, I can talk about contracts being signed and Liverpool being boss of football. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. Hopefully, have a good rest of your Thursdays, and I'll see you guys later. Ta-ra.